Hi, everybody. Today we're going to try to learn how to make a virtual and interactive math dictionary. So I'm going to go take you through that. So kind of follow my process through here. I think it'll be pretty straightforward once we get going, but we'll get you set up. And then I'm going to do a few words, and then the rest will be what you need to finish for your assignment. And then we're going to continue to add to this like every section and every chapter and throughout the year. So I think this might be kind of cool as we get going, help you with some of the language, because math, I mean, it's really, we're trying to speak the same language, right? So we understand how we're communicating. So, okay. So these words that are in here today are from like section 1.1 in your book, which you can get on Big Ideas. So here's what we need to do. First of all, I need you to log into Big Ideas. So I logged in as a student already. And what you can see is this thing right here. Obviously, we're going to be looking up some definitions, right? So if you, on your homepage, your dashboard, you should see, honors geometry right here that we have a glossary. So I'm going to have you open that up because that's where we're going to be able to find our words. So we can easily do that through here. So we'll use that. Then what I would like you to do is I would like you to go just to desmos.com. And it'll ask you, like you'll see up in the right-hand corner here, to log in. I would like you to click log in and log in with Google. So if I log in with Google, okay, like mine, I already have it set up. It might ask you if you're a student or a teacher, so pick student, obviously. But what this is going to do is going to allow you to save the graphs you make, which is going to be really important, okay? And then what I would like you to do is, once you have that set up, is you're going to come over to Math Tools, and we are going to use the Geometry tool. So you're going to click Geometry tool, and it's going to take you to a new screen. And what you will notice is that your name should be signed in. You have a blank canvas here with all these options over here that we're going to play with as the year goes on. It's going to be kind of cool. And then untitled. So right now this is an untitled graph, and you're going to title it here in a second with some of the words as we go, but this is set up for you. So you have a graph set up. You have your Big Ideas dictionary glossary open. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to head in and start building our interactive and virtual dictionary. And so the reason I call it that is because this is going to be a place where you could find the words and meanings quickly and have a construction to help reinforce what they are. So I'm going to do a few of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and like I said, you're going to have to complete the rest of them for your assignment, and you're going to do as best as you can. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be a good start. Okay, so I want all of your definitions in your own words. So we're going to use the glossary, but I want you to try to summarize as best as you can. So I'm going to do, we'll do this one here. We'll start with a point, right? So what is a point? So I come over to Big Ideas, and I go to P, and I can see over here that I can pick point. And what does it say? It says a point is a location in space that is represented by a dot and has no dimension. Okay, as I am a math teacher and know something, and understand a lot about geometry, if I had to summarize this for myself, I would really just kind of say a point is a location. And that's really what it is, right? It's just a location. We usually represent it by a dot, right? It has no dimension. What that means is it doesn't go like off in one direction or two directions. It has no dimension whatsoever. It doesn't, take up a cover anything. So there's no dimension to it. So I'm just going to say in my own words, from my own memory, a point is simply a location. That's all it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this on Desmos. So you come over to Desmos, go to your graph, and right now this says untitled, right? So let's call it, let's try vocab point. That way we know this is from our vocab words that we're learning, and we're learning about the word point. Save. And there you go. One option is a point right there. So you can click point, plot it, and when you're done, see how it's still dragging that around. Just go over to the select, and it puts your cursor back. So you have a point. This is a point. It's a location, right? It's a location on this plane. So if you click that point, though, see how it blows up. You can change the color and all kinds of stuff. And go ahead and checkbox label. So you can label this what you want. Now, normally we label a point with just a capital letter or something. So I'm going to change this and I'm going to call it point A, just so we know that we label that as point A, okay? And then that's pretty good to go. And then you hit save. And then all you need to do is take this link right here, copy that, use Control C if you want, come over to your virtual dictionary and just paste that link right there. And so what that's going to do is if you ever need to go back to that construction to refresh on what a point is, you can just click that link and bam, it'll take you right to the picture. So then other links that might help you out for that word. So for example, I went to YouTube and I found a couple things, and I know some of you are going to use this, which is totally fine. That's why we're doing this. I see this little video here, points, lines, and planes. It's got a lot of stuff, points, lines, planes, segments, rays. Now, if you use this, you got to watch it. So it talks a little bit. This might actually be helpful for making your dictionary. But I can take this video right here and go to it, and if you want, you can listen to it. I'm gonna
quality writing makes your
we're gonna listen to
better
Grammarly for a second
and helps you stand out in the process. Meet Grammarly.
Skip those ads, and then I'm gonna pause it just for a second, okay? So if you need to get the link to this video, you can come down, and some of you might know how to do it better than I do. Just hit share, and then you can copy this link, and you're gonna come into here, and you can paste that video in. And that was about what points, lines, and planes. And actually, what else is in that? And we're not going to watch. I'm not going to watch the whole video with you. But points, lines, planes, segments, rays, collinear, coplanar points. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm okay if you use that repeatedly for some of these, right? So I'll let you decide if you want to use that. But I'm just going to say that if you're using it, make sure you watch it a little bit so you learn a little bit about it. I think it's a good place to look. Okay, so you can use that link if you'd like. But check out the video. Okay, so I'll say that's kind of informally part of your assignment. Okay, and then so now here that point is done. So let's do another one. So let's say I want to do. I'm going to pick a different one. How about I do endpoints? Okay, so endpoints. So I can go to big ideas and go back in there and hit E, and I come down and I find I'm looking endpoints. There it is. Endpoints. Okay, I mean, it has a nice picture for you, but endpoints, points that represent the ends of a line segment or array. So what does that mean in my own words? That means basically the places or the locations where my line segment starts and ends, right? It's a starting or an ending point on some sort of line or segment. So that's the way I'm going to say it. So for me, endpoints are either the starting or I'll use the word stopping point or points on a line segment, shouldn't say line, a line segment or ray. Okay, it's just some sort of starting or stopping points is the endpoints, right? So we come over to Desmos. Okay, now we're on here for Desmos. And what we can do is come over to this left side and you can do a new construction. Hit new construction. And now this one's untitled again. Let's call this vocab endpoints. Hit save. And then what we're going to do, I mean, let's try it out, right? So let's draw a segment in here. So you click segment, and segment is just click a point, boom, there's a segment. Let's come over here because it could be array or a segment, right? So let's pick array, and we have that, and it goes this way. So, okay, now, and you could save it as you go. And then when you do that, you go back to your cursor. So now we can select these. So these 3 points are the endpoints. This other point here is not an endpoint. This is just a point somewhere else, and I can drag that around, right? It's interactive. You can move it. That's just another point on the rays. So what I think we should do is just to, be kind of cool and color coding and stuff. So here's what we should do. Make sure you're on select. Let's pick this first endpoint up here, and let's color it orange. Then let's go to this endpoint. Let's color it orange. And then let's go to this endpoint and let's color it orange. And then while we're on that, let's select the label and let's call this endpoint. And then let's go back to the other ones and put their labels on. as endpoint. And now just by doing that, and I save that, now just by doing this, we have color coded all the endpoints on here. We know that there is different than this point that is not on the end of the segment or the ray. And so these are our 3 examples of endpoints. And then you can take this URL, Command C or Control C, copy it over to your virtual dictionary and paste in the Desmos graph. And then, like I said, if you want to, there's maybe something you could find about endpoints. So let's say I can find endpoints in geometry, and maybe one of these is helpful for us. Finding the endpoint given a midpoint. Endpoints, segments, rays. I will let you pick whatever link you'd like for that. But that's kind of the idea. So it doesn't take too long once you get going. But I would like you to kind of complete the rest of this. And again, you can use this link up here for a few of them, right? I mean, it applies to points, lines, and things like that. But make sure you pay attention to watch that video too. It's a good one. So I hope this is kind of interesting, and this is something we can keep going as the year goes on. So make sure you keep this. And if you have any questions about it, again, this is something I'm trying. It's something I've actually never done before, so I'm hoping it goes well for you. But if not, we'll adjust and adapt. So, all right, I hope you have a good time doing this. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care.